Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, a viewer of the channel who wants to keep his anonymity, so I will call him Charles, wants to share with us his collection and get my feedback on it. It's quite an extensive amount of watches. We got 24 watches to go through. And maybe at the end we have a suggestion about Charles. He has a fairly wide wrist, so he's not afraid of something that's like 42 millimeters, 43. He tends to wear fairly monochromatic, brand-free sportswear, and so he doesn't shy completely from colors, but prefers monochromatic type of timepieces, as you can already tell from the picture of his whole collection. He is looking at maybe adding one more really top watch, and he's thinking, because he has a good connection at the authorized dealer of Rolex, of adding the Rolex Sky-Dweller, which you can already tell would be quite perfect for his style and what he's looking for, although he doesn't really want to wear too many flashy watches. He likes both the industrial type of machined watches, but also the more handmade aspects of watchmaking. So let's dig first into this large collection. Alright, let's dig into the watch boxes. Charles did not actually send me the list of the watches, but I can recognize most of them, starting top left with black on steel Tudor Black Bay chronograph, a cool one and done type of watch, and since Charles has the wrist for it, that's gonna look really good on him. And he's spicing it up with a bit of color on the NATO. Very cool, competent type of a watch, running the Breitling base caliber, modified by Tudor. Next, one of his favorite watches, one of the ones he wears the most, and I can understand that. It's a perfect one and done again. The Explorer 2, 42 millimeters. Tiny bit too big for me. If you have a bigger wrist, it's a perfect watch. I love it. Next to it, something I suppose maybe from Russia. I recognize a bit of Russian there. Gavaryu Paluski. Yes, I used to speak a little bit of Russian when I had one or two Russian girlfriends. These days the country maybe not so popular, and this watch, a bit artsy. I can imagine it's a $20 watch, but maybe I'm wrong. Next to it, an automatic chronograph by Seiko, looking good, a bit redundant already with if you have the Tudor, although with the Breguet numerals it has a pretty cool look. Under it, we have a Glashütte original. So you see, we're very much jumping brands, jumping price points. This one, skin diver, rotating bezel, a bit of gold as well, two-tone, big date. It's a very refined type of diver, again on a textile strap. Again, one and done kind of watch. Wow, so many watches good watches in this box already. This one, the Grand Seiko, I did a review of it because I owned it for a while. I love this bezel-less type of construction. Very cool. This one is the Shunbun, I believe, from the Seasons collection, Spring Drive. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Next to it, we have Breguet with a big date, type of sporty, dressy there. It feels a bit random, but it's at the same time, it's a Breguet. It's very nice. It doesn't have the Breguet numerals, actually. Roman numerals. And next to it, we have another Spring Drive, GMT, Grand Seiko here. Very handsome watch. I had a limited edition version of this watch, and even I could wear it. So I imagine this one is very much at home on Charles's wrist. It's a very good watch. I'm just worry a bit about the service in the long term of Grand Seiko watches, depending on where you are. In Hong Kong, it's not ideal. Anyway, classic Speedy Pro 1 Oh, yes, 3861 caliber then. Very, yeah, of course, we all know it, and this is the current version. That is very, very nice. Hermes, again, a bit of a random type of choice, but these are quite popular, and yeah, the designer is very proud of his work. This one is the blacked out version. I kind of like blacked out watches. I have to say. Do you need it in this collection? I don't know, but apparently Charles likes to have a lot of choice in the morning when he chooses a watch. And next to it, one of my favorite models, actually, from Glass Shooter Original, the 70s, I think it's Panomatic 70s or something. You have the big date, you have the chronograph, which, if I'm not mistaken, is flyback. You have the power reserve, and I think it even has a second time zone. Isn't that the thing at the top there? Loomed. This is not my favorite dial. I think I like the green and those different type of colors. This one, champagne. But again, he likes the monochromatic look. I like this one. I think it's very cool. From Glass Shooter and a bit under the radar. And it's the integrated steel sports watch in the collection for sure. Next, we have another automatic from Japan, Orient Star, with a lot of things going on. We have a world timer, power reserve. Yeah, pretty cool. Actually, this one is, yeah, it's not a chronograph. It's more like a world timer and the date. Yeah, quite complex. Again, when you own a Glass Shooter Original, when you own a Rolex Explorer, do you need to have this in the collection? So this is the first box, and let's move on to the second one. Okay, second box here we have an automatic speedy. With a bit of a red color, a bit more of a more racing type of look. Yeah, there's all sorts of automatic Speedmasters, kind of cool. This one has the date at the 330. Yeah, I don't know if you need that if you have the big boy Speedy already in the collection. So already you can feel a bit of redundancy, which I'm not a big fan of when building a collection. I think here we're going a bit in all directions in the accumulation. Here we have the Godzilla, if I'm not mistaken, by Grand Seiko. Crazy watch, very cool. You make a statement if that's your main watch, that's for sure. Another Grand Seiko GMT. Okay, we already have one in the collection. This one is not spring drive, and this one is very reminiscent of the Explorer. Man, you know what I'm gonna say. I don't think you should have that in your collection. Gift it, sell it, and yeah. Charles mentioned if he's gonna add something, he probably would need to remove something. So maybe that would be a good philosophy to adopt from now on. Next to it, the Luc, the LU Chopard Time Traveler 1. This one is like the monochromatic. I suppose it's a different type of metal, maybe a titanium. I love the one in steel with the orange accents. That's one of the mainstays in my collection. So I love this. And of course, if Charles loved the monochromatic looks, this one is great. Beautiful movement, manufacturer movement, looking well finished with a nice architecture. Here you have the loom, you have the date, which often you don't get when you get a world timer. You have an indication of the daylight savings. This one gives you everything, even the look of the super compressor type of cases with the two crowns. I love this one. So one of my favorites here in the box. Then another Grand Seiko Spring Drive. This one is the big boy diver. Yeah, kind of cool, especially if you dive. Next to it, a Cartier automatic square. It again feels a bit random. It's great to have a Cartier in the collection. This one is quite serious looking, very stern looking. And then another Grand Seiko. with a nice new movement, the high beat. This one, I suppose, is the white birch. There's so many; it's hard to keep up with Grand Seiko. I didn't really love the white birch when I encountered it. I don't know, something about it. I can't remember what it is, but I did mention it on my channel before. Then one of Charles's favorite watches. It looks like gold or gold plated. Maybe it's full gold, I guess, from a glass shooter original, the inverse Panomatic, with a lot of hand finishing. It's nice. I'm not sure it's my favorite execution of this model, and with all the value that we've always seen in the collection, man, you could have had the longer. I'm sorry to say. Maybe it's a bit impolite to say, but yeah, it's nice. Don't love the model personally. Then another Grand Seiko, again a GMT automatic. I think that's more than I can accept in anyone's collection. I'm not want to tell people what they should buy or sell, but it's getting a bit too much, too redundant. Next to it, little Seiko diver, very nice. Then, I mean, come on. Next to it, you have a Vacheron, and on the right we have an Orient Star. It's time to get serious, Charles. If you have this kind of watch, I don't think you need the other stuff in this row. For example, overseas, third generation, black dial. This is what you should be wearing every day. And this is one of Charles's favorite watches already. I feel like this just too much. The collection would be much more beautiful, much more interesting if you would reduce drastically. And Charles, you will let us know in the comments why you feel like you need so many watches. But I feel it's great to have lots of watches, no problem. And the theme here, there's a collecting theme of being monochromatic and going towards 43 millimeter type of watches, which is cool as well. However, I feel that there's just too much of the same. And there's nothing to gain from it. So I would drastically reduce. Not going to be easy. A lot of these are going to be very difficult to sell. And I don't know what you paid for them. If you paid retail, that's going to be a huge loss. On the Grand Seikos, if you got, I don't know, 15-20% off at the retail price point, probably you lose another 15-20% selling them, because it just makes so many on, and then they update slightly the models. However, I don't see how you can enjoy all these watches that look similar, have the same function, often a similar movement as well. So ideally, if it was up to me, if you could just bring it all to a dealer, take the hit, simplify it, I would go for something. I would keep these ones right here. How about this? Doesn't this look like a top drawer collection without watches that fill the same job in the collection? You got your favorites, the Explorer 2 and the Vacheron. These two are the most important in your collection. I would add to that the World Timer by Chopard, which I think is fantastic, and I love the stealth version that you have. Beautiful movement, and it's a different brand. And maybe going one watch per brand would be the way I would go. Just choose the one you love the most. Omega, you got a couple of ones. Stick with the big boy, the Speedy Pro. Out of all your Grand Seikos, my favorite, because of the case construction and the dial, is the Grand Seiko, the Shunbun. I don't think you need to have a Grand Seiko GMT if you already have a World Timer and a GMT by Rolex. Add that. So I would have this one. I think it's titanium as well, so very comfortable and spring drive, always on time. In a bit dressier without being too dressy. Out of the two glass shooter, I frankly prefer the 70s, and you get that integrated steel sports with another great chronograph and the big date. It's great to have a big date in the collection. I prefer this one, and the dial you have is quite original. And then why not have a bit of gold and a great brand again. Breguet, since you have it, just stick with it, and it looks quite different. To me, those 7 watches are all top quality, good brands, and it summarizes your collection. The rest is superfluous. Is to me more noise. But you asking me, right? If you ask somebody else, maybe they will tell you add one more box. You're asking me, and now in my journey, I just want to reduce. There's no point having too much of those things that do the same job, and I just want to wear the ones that mean the most and that together form a coherent group of watches. So I would say, yeah, if you could reduce to this, you would come to the essence. This is to me the essence of your collection. You can keep everything, but this is to me the essence of your collection, and this picture looks better to me than the picture of the 2 boxes. You're asking me, I give you my opinion. Now, you mentioned the Sky-Dweller. Yes, the calendar function. You need a big wrist to wear that watch. My wrist is just a bit too small for it. I could pull it off. When people sit on my wrist, because I'm very tall, they would probably think it's just fine. But for me personally, I find it a bit too big, bit too heavy. However, you're talking about a choice. Steel black dial, perfect. You love it, and this is what's missing in your collection. It's gonna go perfectly. Black dial, white dial, either way, or maybe go a bit crazy and get the blue dial or the green dial. But the black dial, very nice, and you can almost probably get it at retail at this point. I suppose, or not too much above that. That would really look great in the collection, and I did a little rendering. This is what it would look like, and that's quite perfect, I think. You also mentioned the gold version with the Oyster Flex. I love the Oyster Flex. I just love the look, the functionality, and it's true that it's a big watch, quite heavy. Having it on Oyster Flex, just try it on to see how it balances on the wrist. If possible, go try maybe a used one that's already out of the plastics and everything, and see how it feels on the wrist. If it feels good, maybe consider what I said. Reduce drastically the collection. Stick to the best ones, one per brand, and then we're gonna. If we add another Rolex, you'll have 2 Rolex, but can you ever have enough or too many of them? I suppose you could, but you can add one. And rose gold, I like it as well. White gold, probably more your beat. And steel is nice as well. Oyster Flex, very cool. Make sure you try it on, see how it feels on the wrist. Probably also visually going to reduce a bit the mass of that watch, which is quite a big watch. And I can't think of a better watch, because you want to add a calendar, but you want something that's very easy to use. And the Rolex calendar, their annual calendar, is very nice to use. To be honest, it's just the date and the month. It's not even the day. No moon phase, so it's not a really complete calendar. And who doesn't know what month it is? But okay, just for the spirit of having something complicated on the wrist, the Sky-Dweller, which could become your mainstay, right? When you have a watch like that, I don't know if you need anything else that would really complete your, in terms of the functions and what suits you, that would complete your collection. Of course, the bezel is going to be quite shiny, that fluted bezel. So maybe it takes you out of your comfort zone a little bit, but it's okay to have one watch that's a bit more flash. It's a statement piece. It's one of the high-end pieces of Rolex, one of their 2 most complicated watches at the moment. Yeah, I think you can't. Yeah, I can't think of anything better than that. You know, I was thinking, hey, maybe the Breitling Datora or the split that they do, but yeah, they're a bit thick for what they do. I would stick to Rolex. Which one do I prefer? The Steel or the Oyster Flex? Look, if I could afford it, I'd go for the Oyster Flex. I really love that look. I really love the feel of the Oyster Flex. I also love the Yachtmaster. Oh, that's another thing you could consider, right? The Yachtmaster 42 millimeter white gold Oyster Flex. That could be super nice as well in the collection. But I like the rose gold 40 millimeter. One of my favorite watches because I like rose gold. But you already have the Breguet. So yeah, Sky-Dweller. I mean, you mentioned it because you know already that is the right answer. And see, yeah, if you can get a good price on a few of the watches, just let go. You've had your good time with them. Say goodbye like an old girlfriend, and move on to the really nice one, the Sky-Dweller. Yeah. All right, Charles. Thank you for sharing. I hope I'm not too harsh. I hope this is useful to you guys. If you like this collection, like the advice, well, give the video a like. Maybe give your little suggestion, little comment down below for Charles. Any other suggestion you think would work in this collection. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys in the next collection review, upticwr@gmail.com, if you want your collection on this channel reviewed. Bye bye.
Watch with a fancy name. You need a JLC, VC, or AP. Jordan